Well, we're still looking at our journey to 2019. Joining me now is Tony Dania. He's an attorney at law. Welcome to the show.
Good evening and good
quite
evening,
a lot,
viewers.
quite a lot is happening, and and if you look at the candidates, we did say we'll give everyone, a chance on the program to talk and tell us, their campaign agenda. Even though officially INEC hasn't actually given them the green to go all out, but they're still doing all the door-to-door, within their political parties. Now, looking at all the political parties and candidates, give us an overview. Do you think 2019 will be quite different from 2015?
Yes, it will be quite different because when the present administration came in, there were a lot of expectations, a lot of hope, and what we have now is misreaction to the past 3 years administration, and there is this clamor by other parties to outdo the current party. It's going to be a tough one, and every candidate has an antecedent, so you don't even really need to campaign before we know to some extent the kind of person you are. And thank God too, you can run a check on every candidate without talking to the candidate. Say, what's your name? You just run a check on the candidate and you know the kind of person he is. But 2019 is going to be a tough one, and then there are likely to be surprises too. Yes, because some of the states, the indigenes are not happy, and we know money has played a lot of role in influencing.
It's still very much dominant in our politics.
Yes, where people collect. But you see, it will still change. Soon, people will know that when they bring this money, in as much as it is not proper to collect it, if you have to collect it and vote your conscience. They are not going to be there. It's a secret ballot voting system, even though I've always called for option A4, which is cheaper, more transparent. It has been tested in 1993. It is still the best, the most transparent, and the fairest elections we've ever had. And results cannot be manipulated. As you are voting, everybody knows the result.
Let's come back to some of the surprises and see what could amount to such surprises. If you look at it, for the governing party, the APC, some of its candidates basically are still, having issues with some who godfathers in their localities, in some states, going by the kind of primaries conducted by the party. Some didn't get what you want to call in Nigerian political lexicon anointed candidates. They are anointed candidates, didn't get a ticket. So do you think that this will amount to some, drama on election day in 2019?
Well, all the parties, apart from APC, all the major parties have that issue. They have internal crisis. The governor of a state have preference for some candidates for both the State House of Assembly of that state, those that will represent the state senatorial districts, and in the House of Rep. So, and the party too, we want to be seen to be neutral and independent. They want candidates to have a free hand. And then the chairman of the party, APC, is being accused of influencing the outcome of most of the primaries. So, and some governors are not happy and all that, but it is not peculiar to APC. It is also there in PDP, and the two major parties are APC and PDP. So at the end, the good thing is that there is this party internal democracy still revolving, and then with time it will be stronger. And then what would come out at the end would be compromise, reconciliation, sacrifices in the interest of the party. And I think that is what is ongoing right now within APC and even PDP, so that's what is right going. So I am very positive that this internal crisis will be resolved within the two parties, and it is not going to affect head of a party is not most likely going to affect head of a parties negatively.
It's amazing we're still talking about these two political parties. You know, the Nigerians thought that, you know, they were likely to see an alternative. And we saw some younger persons come into the fray, and we saw some other political parties, you know, get registered, and many thought that they were going to worm them, you know, this agenda into the minds, you know, of the electorates. Do you think that these new parties, the newbies, haven't done enough to get some big notice?
Yeah, we heard about this party that was being flouted by, or we thought it was coming on board by Oliso Bakuba. We also heard of the one that was being spearheaded by the former head of state of Basanjo. But we've not seen anything yet to, you know, I don't know if it has been forced into a political party that is registered and contesting. And you know, one of the criteria for registration at INEC is that you must have offices and you must have your administrative structure spread across the country. And I know we have other parties that are, you know, a little bit popular, like the SDP and, you know, the likes. But the major parties are still APC and PDP. And we are doing a multi-party system, but it is becoming too, how will I put it? We have too many parties now. I think over 50 parties, political parties, registered political parties. I think it's time we whittle this number down and do what we call measures of parties that have the same ideologies, and they have like 5 parties, you know.
That means you already see that some of these parties have, you know, similar or same ideologies or same agenda, but they have different names.
Yes. Like I know Labour is not far from what SDP have been talking about, you know, and I also know that NCP is also not far from what Labour has been, you know, talking about. So I see some of these political parties merging, but we must take a lead. The Constitution and the INEC Enabling Act allows multi-parties, but we need to look for a way to, you know, restrict the number of parties. It's becoming too wary, too loose, too many parties. And the electorate too, we need to quickly get them to be properly reorientated. INEC has an orientation section, and we have the National Orientation Agency. We have the civil society group that are also, you know, out to educate the electorate. But I don't think they are doing enough. I want to look at what we did, God forbid, when we had Ebola. You see, even the market women knew what Ebola was. They knew what they are supposed to do. So the National Orientation Agency and the Ministry of Health, they did a good job. Then it was people still see it as a miracle that we're able to get out of Ebola. The same method should be used to educate the electorate. Do you know that some people think it's normal to collect money to vote? We need to educate them. Some people are not even exploiting the available opportunity now to correct mistakes, get your PVC and all that. We need to get that. If we have to stop rigging, we need to, the electorate need to be educated. They need to be told, they need to know that taking 4,000 is not enough for you to mortgage your conscience.
I think you've just pinned it down to what we've always highlighted, and it has to do with the National Orientation Agency.
Yes.
So if you take INEC away from the equation and you take away the civil society, the agency responsible for such sensitization is the NOA.
Yes.
What exactly is wrong with the NOA?
I don't know. See, this man was the inaugural chairman or director. What's his name? Professor. What's the name of the man that started this National Orientation Agency? He's a politician, well known now in PDP. You see,
Jerry Ghana.
Jerry Ghana, yes, Jerry Ghana. So now we need a vibrant person to take over that organization. And because I don't know, we've not been hearing about their activities recently. I've not seen their jingles. I've not heard, the National Orientation Agency, the Federal Ministry of Information, I don't know if the states have similar agencies like the National Orientation Agency, but I'm aware every state has the Minister of Information. Now, the Minister of Information, the National Orientation Agency, are primarily responsible to educating the masses on matters that concern governance and all that. And educating the electorate, we further help blossom our democracy. You know, so that is very, very important. 2019 is by the corner. We need, the electorate need to know their rights. They need to,
I mean, you're right, it's barely 4 months to the election. And
exactly.
Nothing coming from the NOA.
Yes, nothing. And but for the little jingles we get, we cannot put out INEC because when you look at the budget, you hear the huge amount voted for orientation or education of the electorate in INEC. So I don't know, I watch TVC all the time. I don't know how many times I've seen jingles or clips on how the voters, some of them don't even know what to do. You know, some of the electorates. The market women, they are there waiting to receive rice, receive cash, and be told who to vote for. It ought not to be like that, you know. So to further expand our democratic, to further enjoy our democratic whatever, we need to take the orientation of the electorate much more serious than we are taking it now. And then the non-governmental organizations that have as their primary objective the education or orientation of the electorate should also do more. So the federal government should take deliberate steps to educate the electorate. This is or get the relevant agencies to do what they are supposed to do. INEC has not impressed me in this area. And I'm not totally, National Orientation Agency have failed in this area. The Federal Ministry of Information have not also done enough. So we need to do more. And it is not late. I keep wondering, the way, I'm sorry I have to refer back to this Ebola thing, because if you will appreciate how every Nigerian knew, even the village people, they knew what is called Ebola, they knew what to do. Why can't we do the same thing here? Maybe an aggressive publicity and education of the electorate, which is the masses anyway, will help us greatly in this area. And then I want to say that if any person offers you money, collect the money and vote whoever you want to vote for. And then the security agencies, you know, I don't understand this. INEC, we get money for security. The existing security agencies, police, DSS, civil defense, immigration and all that, we also get funds for the security they will provide during an election. You understand? And then when you look at the amount that is being spent to, you know,
prosecute an election,
to organize an election, you'll be surprised. For example, I did a rough estimate, and it is not less than, I'm talking of every party spends, every candidate spends, then the government, the federal government will spend, the state government will spend. If you calculate it, it's not less than 600 billion. Not less than 600 billion. And that is why I will use this opportunity to still talk about we evolving our local system. A4 is the best, the cheapest.
But I think it also has its own downside, because security, the risk, because everyone files out, behind the candidate, and you just look and you say, oh my God. So now, for instance, if we to go with your advice, I'm going to collect, for instance,
it is going to stop the cash for vote thing.
Okay, that's another point, because
then it is going to reduce the cost of election.
Because the security risk involved in option A4 is still there.
What's the risk? Look, it is something that can be done within 10 minutes. An election is organized, the result is known, everybody is at home. 10 minutes, you just queue, it's counted simultaneously. As you are there, you know who has won. You cannot be manipulated. You know, and the security will only, you stay and make sure you stay on the queue. We did it in 1999. I was 1993. I mean, you understand? I coordinated some of these activities. You just stay on the queue. Oyegu won. He won on that election. Abiola won. You know, the election, the victory of has just been recognized by the present administration. It was easy. The money that will be spent will not be much. You cannot collect money anymore, or it will reduce it drastically. And the timing, look, I don't know why we are ignoring this. We are ignoring it because the other ones that the current INEC is doing, the previous administration of INEC did previously and currently, so much money is spent, so much money will be given out. Sophistication is being, we are trying to be sophisticated, we are trying to move with tide and trends. We are looking at what is happening in other advanced countries. Why can't they copy what is happening in our own country? Why can't we improve on option A4? Option A4 that we practiced in 1993, I think the election umpire, the head of the umpire then, what's his name, Professor
Humphrey Wonsu.
Humphrey Wonsu, is still around.
Still around.
He's still around. So let us have option A4. If you cannot look at the amount you are going to be spending now, the security that you are going to arrange will be for just few hours, a day before the election, that day after election. The moment result is announced, it reduces tension. Before election proper, you secure a place. During election, you secure the place. After election, you continue to secure. But if it is transparent, nobody argues it. So, and if you queue under, behind the candidate you want, everybody sees everybody. No, I haven't said that. I know that people will say, oh, we need to be moving forward and not backward. But I think we should be thinking about this too. If we are not going to do it at the next election, we should be thinking about it for the other one. We can discuss it, make it an issue. We need to plead with people like you to also make it an issue. I believe very strongly is the cheapest, the most transparent way of voting and allowing your vote to count.
Many still think that Nigeria should actually, develop its electronic voting system and perhaps also see how they can get Nigerians in diaspora to also vote, Nigerians in our embassies, in our high commissions to also vote. Are you also thinking in that light?
Yes, I take, for example, the Nigerian Bar Association election is now electronics. You can stay in the comfort of your home and vote, and it will be counted. The previous president of NBA was voted in electronically. The current one too, the same thing, Usoro, was voted in electronically. And the campaigns were done electronically. You receive messages explaining why you should vote for social candidate. You have the method you are going to use in voting from your phone is there. So, I think it's something that can be expounded and positively exploited too, so that you can, you can do your voting from the comfort of your own. That is going to reduce security issues drastically. I think it's a fine place for us to leave it this evening. Tony Dania, an attorney at law and an activist, many thanks for speaking with us. And we do hope that the Director General of the NOA, National Retention Agency, should also find time to come on the show so that they can expatiate more and tell us if they have paucity of funds, what are the problems they do have. The government needs to really fund them and let them speak in the dialect, in the language of the people, irrespective of where they live, to understand what exactly their duties and roles are as we move towards 2019. It's a great time spending with you. Thank
and
you
I would
so
hope
much.
we'll have you again here.
Yes.
Well, our political stew, is a wrap today, and we do hope that the candidates will try as much as possible to get all the candidates as much as we can on the show. And once the campaigns are officially opened, November 18, we'll talk about so many other things. And of course, the program is also opened, of course, to look at those issues that the people would want to address. And that means very soon the electorates will find their way into our political kitchen to discuss their issues, all their pains and demands. See you again next week. Bye-bye.